An upset victory in WWE is a big deal. Oh wow, we never knew we were gonna get that. This guy picked up a big win, so now, big things for him? Well, not exactly. Here are the top 10 biggest WWE upset wins that didn't really lead to anything. I'm Kevin Kellum. Hit the like button. You can see where it is. It's the little thumbs up. Hit that guy. Jump into the comments and tell us the biggest upset victories you can remember in pro wrestling. Number 10, Austin Theory versus John Cena. Austin Theory's shocking win over John Cena, one of the biggest names ever, at WrestleMania 39 was widely seen as a pivotal moment in his career. Many in the WWE, along with a few industry insiders, believed that this win would catapult him to the main event level. Defeating a legend like Cena on WWE's biggest show of the year is a strong endorsement. Theory was a future top star. It felt that way. However, the aftermath of this significant win proved to be disappointing for those who had anticipated something of a rapid ascent for Theory. Despite the victory, Theory largely remained in the mid-card, a position he had occupied well before that WrestleMania. His reign as U.S. champion provided consistent television exposure, but ultimately failed to elevate him to that next level. Rather than serving as a stepping stone to a world title opportunity, the championship run with the U.S. title felt more like an extended holding pattern. Number 9, Otis winning Money in the Bank. Otis winning Money in the Bank back in 2020 was a unique deal, especially during the no-fans era that WWE was in. Fans watching online and around the world were genuinely stoked with him. His quirky personality, his tag team with Tucker, and the whole romantic storyline with Mandy Rose really got people invested, especially for a mid-card character. The idea of him as a lovable underdog holding the briefcase felt fresh and exciting, but honestly, the excitement didn't last that long. His time with the briefcase was super short and frankly pretty uneventful. Instead of building up to a cash-in, the focus just shifted. The whole thing basically ended with him losing the briefcase to The Miz after Tucker betrayed him at Hell in a Cell. It felt like really an anticlimactic finish, totally squashing any hopes we had of Otis making it big. In the end, his Money in the Bank briefcase win ended up being more of a forgotten moment than an elevation. Number 8, The Undertaker versus Vladimir Kozlov? Yeah, on the road to WrestleMania 25, WWE decided to have Vladimir Kozlov, the big bad Russian, defeat Undertaker. Yes, The Undertaker clean on SmackDown. You didn't remember this, did you? Kozlov's win over the Phenom sent shockwaves through the WWE fanbase at the time, as the legendary Deadman rarely lost. Certainly not clean against any heels like this, and if he did, it meant something. Fans also questioned whether Kozlov was the right choice for such a big win. Reports later suggested that the company was considering a rematch between the two at WrestleMania 25, but it faced heavy backlash from fans who simply weren't invested in the match. Instead, we got maybe the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Number 7, Zack Ryder's win at WrestleMania 32. Zack Ryder's Intercontinental Championship victory at WrestleMania 32 was a pretty exciting moment, maybe even the highlight of the show. After working hard as an underdog and truly gaining his own audience online within the WWE system, WWE, overlooking him, now saw to give him a special moment, a well-earned reward. The crowd erupted. It seemed like this was the start of something big. However, the excitement was very, very short-lived. The very next night, on the Raw after WrestleMania, Ryder lost the IC title to The Miz. The quick title change completely undermined how important his WrestleMania victory was. It is the definition of bittersweet. Woo, woo, woo. We wish we didn't know it. Number 6, Santino Marella versus Umaga. Yes, this one is sort of debatable because it is certainly an incredible debut in the WWE. The Milan Miracle in Italy, as it was dubbed, Santino Marella, an unknown person in the crowd, was plucked by the evil Mr. McMahon to get in the ring and take on the monster of the day, Umaga, in a Intercontinental Championship match. Yes, grabbing a random Italian guy from a show in Italy and putting him on international television, and then boom, he wins. Of course, this is with help from Bobby Lashley getting in the ring, but it was certainly generating massive and significant buzz, a noteworthy way to introduce a new character, but he was completely unknown, and getting a win over the Samoan Bulldozer certainly gave him a lot of momentum, but the problem is he couldn't be a serious character. It almost labeled him as a fluky comedic player, which certainly gave Santino Marella a lot of longevity and a lot of fans over the years. Though it was exciting, it did kind of put this creative ceiling, if you will, of expectation on Santino Marella. Number 5, Tyler Breeze versus Dolph Ziggler. Breezy Boy getting a win over the show-off Dolph Ziggler at Survivor Series 2015 with Summer Rae by his side seemed like a big deal for a newcomer coming up from NXT. Yeah, it was his first main roster premium live event match, and beating a former world champion like Ziggler cleanly was supposed to be a real kickoff for his career. The match itself was pretty darn good, and the win definitely hinted that WWE was serious about boosting Breezy. But here's the thing, despite the promising start, the win didn't really lead to a sustained push. The feud with Ziggler just kind of faded away, and Breeze quickly found himself without much direction. His partnership with Summer Rae ended, but before long he was stuck in lower card matches and did enjoy a fruitful run with a comedic tag team with Fandango. Number 4, Aaliyah versus Natalya. Aaliyah's very quick, and we mean quick, victory over the veteran Natalya in just over 3 seconds on an episode of SmackDown in 2022 set the new record for the fastest win in WWE history. This unexpected and dominant performance was certainly an interesting move to play, especially on a respected veteran like Natalya, who is certainly going to be a Hall of Famer one day. In retrospect, you would have thought this would have signaled Aaliyah becoming a force to be reckoned with in WWE's women's division, except the win quickly became an isolated stat rather than a catalyst for her career to grow, ultimately doing little to establish her as a prominent figure in the long term before her unfortunate release from the company. Number 3, Leon Ruff versus Johnny Gargano. So Leon Ruff snagging the NXT North American Championship from Johnny Wrestling himself, Johnny Gargano, back in November of 2020 was a total shocker. Damian Priest caused the distraction, and Ruff, this very much significant underdog, actually pulled it off. Of course, he had some help, but everyone was buzzing, and that excitement didn't last long because his reign was super brief. Just 25 days at TakeOver War Games, he dropped the title to Gargano. Honestly, that quick title change kind of made his big win feel maybe less important, maybe not intended, but less important. Leon Ruff's title win felt more like an angle, a stopgap between another big match between Damian Priest and Gargano. Number 2, Fandango versus Chris Jericho. Oh wait, let me say it right. Fandango. Yes, Fandango's upset win over Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 29. Yeah, what a way to debut as the dancing superstar. You get a win over a future Hall of Famer. It's a big deal. It's instantly going to make Fandango a hot topic and cause his theme music to become a worldwide phenomenon. It did. Fans were doing the Fandango dance in every arena, and it genuinely seemed like WWE had discovered and catapulted a new superstar. However, despite this incredible momentum, it simply couldn't be sustained. The company didn't manage to build on this surge, and the post-WrestleMania push was inconsistent and short-lived. Fandango never truly moved beyond the mid-card novelty act, but certainly played a great role and had a very comedically successful tag team we've already referenced in this video with Tyler Breeze. The Fandangoing craze eventually faded, and Fandango, despite his initial big win, settled into the role of never quite living up to the promise of that WrestleMania debut. No shot at him. The win became a one-time success, and maybe like the Macarena dance, it just faded away. Number 1, Solo Sikoa versus John Cena. Solo Sikoa's dominant win over Cena, yes, the GOAT himself, at Crown Jewel 2023 seemingly was a career-defining moment. Ultimately, it led to little. Despite defeating a legend like Cena and Cena's apparently torch-passing abilities, Sikoa's role within the Bloodline at the time, the faction where he was just a big henchman who helped Roman Reigns win big matches, he just stayed the enforcer. missing a crucial opportunity for maybe a possible main event push or a championship pursuit, simply because of bigger storylines bigger than him. The win's significant momentum was not really capitalized on and resulted in an upset with minimal long-term impact. Even when Solo went on his own after the Bloodline as we remember it dissolved and he led his own new version of the Bloodline, he never really had the same magic back with him. What do you think? What is the biggest win in wrestling history that didn't really do what it should have done for the person who won the match? Let us know in the comments below.